Gentlemen, let me ask you something. When was the last time you thought seriously about your prostate? Not when you woke up 3 times during the night to use the bathroom. Not when your urine stream felt weaker than it used to. Not when you stood in front of the toilet wondering why it suddenly takes longer to empty your bladder. I mean, really thought about it. For most men over 50, the answer is simple: almost never, and that's understandable. The prostate is one of those parts of the body that stays completely invisible until something starts going wrong. But here's what concerns me as a urologist. Many prostate problems don't begin with disease. They begin with daily habits, small habits, ordinary habits, habits that seem harmless, the kind of things millions of men do every single day without giving them a second thought. Over time, these habits can contribute to inflammation, poor circulation, worsening urinary symptoms, disrupted sleep, reduced quality of life, and increasing frustration. Think of your prostate like a small valve inside a plumbing system. When that valve is healthy, everything flows smoothly. But when irritation and inflammation develop, the entire system begins feeling the effects. Bathroom trips increase, sleep suffers, confidence drops, energy declines. The good news is that many of these problems aren't completely outside your control. In fact, some of the biggest threats to prostate health come from habits you can start changing today. And stay with me until the end, because the final mistake is one that countless men dismiss as normal aging, when it may actually be causing some of the biggest problems they experience. But here's what most men don't realize. The first mistake often starts the moment they sit down. Gentlemen, if you spend most of your day sitting, your prostate may be paying the price. Now, I'm not saying sitting is automatically dangerous. We all sit. We sit while driving. We sit while working. We sit while eating. We sit while watching television. The problem isn't sitting itself. The problem is how long we stay there. Many men spend 8, 10, even 12 hours each day sitting with very little movement. Over time, this can create problems. Think about placing a heavy object on a garden hose. The water still moves, but not as efficiently. Pressure builds. Flow changes. Something similar can happen when prolonged sitting places continuous pressure on the pelvic region. The prostate sits deep within this area. Healthy blood flow helps tissues receive oxygen and nutrients. Movement helps maintain circulation, but long periods of inactivity can reduce that natural support. Many of my patients are surprised when I ask them a simple question: how much do you move during the day? The answer is often revealing. Some walk only from the bedroom to the kitchen. Some spend hours watching television. Others sit behind a desk all day and then spend the evening sitting again. The body was designed for movement. When movement decreases, circulation slows. Think of circulation like a flowing river. When water keeps moving, it stays fresh. When it becomes stagnant, problems begin developing. The same principle applies throughout the body. The good news is that fixing this doesn't require intense exercise. You don't need to become a marathon runner. You don't need to spend hours in a gym. Sometimes the most powerful solution is also the simplest. Stand up every hour. Walk around the house. Take a short stroll after meals. Park farther away. Use the stairs when possible. Small movements repeated consistently often create meaningful results. And that's important because prostate health is rarely determined by one major decision. It's usually shaped by hundreds of small decisions repeated every day. But sitting isn't the only mistake. The next one happens in the kitchen, and many men repeat it: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and sometimes even between meals. Mistake number 2 might surprise you because it doesn't involve what you're doing. It involves what you're eating. Gentlemen, your prostate is affected by the environment inside your body, and food plays a major role in creating that environment. Many modern foods are highly processed: fast food, packaged snacks, sugary desserts, refined carbohydrates, convenient foods that taste good but often provide very little nutritional value. The problem isn't necessarily one hamburger or one dessert. The problem is repetition, day after day, month after month, year after year. Think of inflammation like a small campfire. A healthy diet helps keep that fire controlled. Poor dietary habits continuously throw fuel onto the flames. Eventually, the fire grows larger, and chronic inflammation can affect many parts of the body, including the prostate. Now let's keep this simple. Your body constantly responds to what you feed it. Foods rich in nutrients support repair and recovery. Foods high in sugar and heavily processed ingredients often encourage inflammation. Many men focus only on weight, but prostate health isn't just about weight. It's about the internal environment you're creating. Imagine trying to maintain a high-performance vehicle. Would you continuously fill it with poor quality fuel and expect peak performance? Of course not. Yet many men unknowingly do exactly that with their bodies. The encouraging news is that positive changes don't require perfection. You don't have to eliminate every favorite food. You don't have to follow extreme diets. Small improvements matter. More vegetables, more fruits, more fish, more healthy fats, more whole foods. Each positive choice helps move the body in a healthier direction. And many men discover that better nutrition improves far more than prostate health. Energy improves. Sleep improves. Stamina improves. Even erections may benefit because healthy blood vessels support circulation throughout the body. But speaking of sleep, the next mistake is one that many men ignore entirely. And unfortunately, their prostate often notices the consequences before they do. But here's what most men don't realize. Your body performs some of its most important repair work while you're asleep. Gentlemen, if your sleep habits are poor, your prostate may be affected more than you think. I often hear men proudly say they only sleep 5 hours a night, as though needing less sleep is a sign of strength. The reality is quite different. Sleep is maintenance time. Think of it like an overnight repair crew. Throughout the day, your body experiences stress. Inflammation develops. Hormones fluctuate. Cells become damaged. Sleep is when much of that repair process occurs. Now imagine the repair crew never arrives. One night might not matter. But what happens after weeks, months, years? Small problems begin accumulating. Your body gradually loses its ability to recover efficiently. Research continues showing strong relationships between sleep quality, hormone balance, inflammation, and overall men's health. Poor sleep can increase stress hormones. It can disrupt testosterone production. It can worsen inflammation. And while sleep isn't the sole cause of prostate problems, it contributes to the environment in which those problems develop. Many men underestimate how powerful good sleep can be. Some improvements happen surprisingly quickly. A consistent bedtime, a cooler bedroom, reducing screen exposure before bed, limiting caffeine late in the day. These simple changes often produce noticeable benefits. Think of sleep as charging a battery. You wouldn't expect your phone to function properly if you only charged it halfway every night. Your body works the same way. But now we come to a habit that many men believe is helping them, when it may actually be creating additional problems. And it has everything to do with water and bathroom habits. But here's what most men don't realize. Trying to avoid bathroom trips can sometimes make urinary problems worse. Many men intentionally drink less water. Their reasoning seems logical. If I drink less, I'll urinate less. Unfortunately, the body doesn't always work that way. Think of your urinary tract as a plumbing system. Water helps keep everything moving smoothly. When hydration becomes inadequate, urine becomes more concentrated. This can sometimes increase irritation. Some men also develop another habit, ignoring the urge to urinate. They're busy, they're driving, they're working, they're watching television. So they wait and wait And wait, occasionally doing this isn't a disaster. But repeatedly ignoring your body's signals isn't ideal. Your body communicates for a reason. When your bladder tells you it's time to go, that's valuable information. Imagine ignoring the fuel warning light in your car. It doesn't create an immediate disaster, but eventually, consequences appear. Hydration doesn't need to be complicated. Most men simply need consistent fluid intake throughout the day. Not excessive amounts, not extreme amounts, just reasonable hydration. And equally important, listen to your body's signals. Respond to them instead of constantly postponing them. These small actions support healthier urinary function over time. But now we arrive at the final mistake. And this is the one that concerns me most as a urologist. Because unlike the others, it prevents men from seeking help. Most men never realize this until it's too late. They assume the problem is simply aging. And that's where real trouble begins. Gentlemen, the most dangerous mistake isn't sitting too much. It isn't poor diet. It isn't poor sleep. It isn't hydration. The most dangerous mistake is assuming every prostate symptom is just getting older. This is where many men get into trouble. They notice changes, more bathroom trips, a weaker stream, interrupted sleep, pressure, discomfort, changes in sexual function. And instead of investigating the cause, they tell themselves something very dangerous. This is normal. Now let's be clear. Some prostate changes do become more common with age. That's true. But common does not mean you should ignore them. Think of symptoms as warning lights on a dashboard. The warning light isn't the problem. It's the signal. The signal tells you something deserves attention. Yet countless men spend months or years dismissing symptoms that should have been evaluated sooner. Most men never realize this until it's too late. Most men never realize this until symptoms become severe enough that they can no longer ignore them. And that's the tragedy. Because earlier awareness often creates more options, more information, more opportunities to improve quality of life. The purpose of today's discussion isn't fear, it's awareness. Your body is constantly communicating. The question is whether you're listening. And here's the message I want every man watching to remember. Your prostate health is influenced by your daily choices. Small habits matter. Movement matters. Nutrition matters. Sleep matters. Hydration matters. Paying attention matters. Most importantly, it's never too late to start. Your body has an incredible ability to adapt, to recover, to improve. It's never too late. Your body can heal. Start with one change. Then another. Then another. Small improvements repeated consistently create powerful results over time. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe for more practical health information designed specifically for men over 50. And I'd like to hear from you. Which of these habits do you struggle with most? Let me know in the comments below. Take care of yourself, gentlemen. Your future self will thank you for it.